South Africa, known for its outstanding natural beauty. The mountains, coastlines, and wildlife draw millions to the country every year. But it also hides a dirty secret. It's one of the world's largest coal producers, behind giants like China, India, and the US. Coal is a vital part of the country's economy, producing more than 80% of the power, and in 2018 made up around 7% of GDP. But it also comes with a cost to people and the planet. South Africa is the continent's biggest emitter of the gases heating up our climate. When burnt, coal releases more carbon dioxide than oil or gas and produces toxic elements that contribute to air pollution. For those working and living near coal mines, the results can be deadly. So why does South Africa have an insatiable taste for this polluting fuel? What effect is it having on its people? And will the country be going green anytime soon? In South Africa, coal means big money and big business. The country is the world's 5th largest exporter, with sales accounting to more than $8 billion in 2018. The state-run energy provider Eskom generates more than 90% of the country's power, is responsible for 45% of its coal production and about 3% of its GDP. But over time, things have started to change.
Coal, for the last 100 years or so, it's really powered the economy. It was critical to the industrialization of this country. Now, with the declining world markets for coal, the price of the export coal has collapsed. So the economics of the thing has changed.
South Africa's coal industry has seen a 15% drop in global investment over the last decade, as the need to shift away from fossil fuels has become more pressing. Even those already invested in the industry have been pulling out.
The big majors, the big players, are getting out as fast as they can, selling off their assets, splitting them up into tiny parcels, and a corresponding upsurge in small, fly-by-night little companies with very little accountability, doing what they will.
So if demand is down, why not ditch coal for something else? Because in South Africa, coal also means jobs, tens of thousands of them. But over the past few years, coal contracts have been stopped and mines shut down. It's an industry with jobs already on the line. And with unemployment rising to 30%, the miners' union fears a shift into renewables and what it would mean for workers. Even abandoned mines are seen as a financial opportunity by those struggling to find work.
Most of the people that work here, they used to work at mines before. So when the mine decides to shut down, they have nothing to do but to go down there and dig for themselves.
But it's about more than just money, because coal is also taking its toll on people's health. This is Mpumalanga province, South Africa's coal mining heartland, and the second largest hotspot of sulfur dioxide pollution in the world. It's home to 12 of the country's 19 active coal-fired power plants, as well as Mbali Matabule and her 2 asthmatic children.
If you can see the dust that is coming out when they are blasting, you can even smell it. Even if you wipe yourself like this, there's a black dust in your hand. So what about if you inhale it? They sometimes struggle to breathe and they struggle to speak. It's painful to watch your kids dying in front of you.
The link between poor health and outdoor air pollution has been established by the World Health Organization, which says it causes about 4 million premature deaths around the world each year.
We know from international studies that a range of about 2 kilometers around each power station, the soil is enriched in heavy metals that come out of the coal. There's something called a red ticket, which is a test you do before you get employment, mostly at power stations and in the mines. And locals tell us that they regularly fail the red ticket test because they've grown up in a very polluted area. As they've grown up, they're unfit for work.
So what changes are being made to counter coal? the South African government recently signed renewable energy contracts for $4.7 billion. It says it hopes to reduce the country's reliance on coal as a source of electricity to 59% by 2030. Despite this, progress on moving away from coal has been slow. And energy provider Eskom acknowledges the part coal plays in the climate crisis, but won't say if the company will start replacing it with renewables anytime soon.
Eskom, we contribute probably 40%, of the carbon emissions in the country. So, it's there. We've admitted it. We've never said nay.
So if not coal, then what else? How could clean power become a bigger part of the picture? South Africa is not short on the sun, wind, and water essential for producing green energy.
If you look at South Africa, it could be, one of the big contributors to renewable energy in the world. It's something that can make the economy grow. It just needs to get tapped into. We are still not even at 10% of the country's electricity being supplied by renewables. I think with technology moving forward, you could get very close to supplying all the energy that the country needs from the renewables. The resource is there.
Experts say not only would a switch from coal to renewable energy avoid around 10 billion tons of carbon dioxide emissions worldwide, it could create almost 3 million more jobs.
If you compare per unit of electricity produced, both in the operating and in the construction phase, the number of jobs in the renewable area is higher.
They also point out how declining coal provinces like Mpumalanga are already set up to become clean energy zones, with roads, housing, skilled workers, and connections to the electricity grid. But with coal still providing the majority of power in South Africa, going green will likely be a case of playing the long game.
It's a vision and a goal towards which we can strive. This is not a South African trend, this move away from coal. It's a global trend. So, one can try all one likes to hang on to a dying industry, but you can't fight a wave. You have to ride the wave. And the wave of the future is not coal.